Welcome to Good News Only. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lashana Guy, and this is Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift, inspire, and bring us all together. Every weekday at 10:30 a.m., we are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, and the community and local wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So if something good happened in your world, a personal victory, a community success, a birthday, or just something that made you smile, send me an email to news25 at week.com. And remember to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. Also, you can follow us on Facebook now. So go to 25 News, Good News Only, and follow me there. That way we can continue the conversations we start right here on the show. You can send me your good news and the messages. I typically am the person checking those, and I'm always the person responding to those messages and to your comments and to your answers every week in the questions, the Get Personal with Shauna questions that we pose each week. I respond to those and then I come back and I share them here on the show, and it's fun. And I love to be able to interact with you personally on the show. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will come back with more good news after this.
Good.
Yep.
Right already?
Yeah, because
You
so
went
much
straight
time.
to your first break early?
No, I went on time. That's how much time it took.
Okay.
So I went on time. So we're on track.
Take a break.
Yeah. You okay?
You gotta
Thank you. You sure you're okay? Yeah.
I can see you got on underwear.
I sure do. I sure do. Today was not the day for either one of us to play with fire. Not at all. Get it together.
Like blaze of fire. What is wrong with you?
All the time. We can't seem to pull it together. I thought you had a meeting.
Who are you talking to?
You.
What?
Don't you have a meeting?
What?
I thought you guys had a meeting.
1:15.
Oh.
We gotta get out the show and then let everybody get set up.
Oh.
Figure out what the hell I'm gonna say.
Welcome back to More Good News Only. So, our first story is local. First story is about the Project Penguin. So, veterans in Central Illinois will once again be honored through Operation Penguin, returning for its third year, which is really cool. The event takes place June 23rd here in Peoria. It's designed for veterans who cannot physically travel on the Greater Peoria Honor Flight or prefer to stay closer to home. So participants will start at the Peoria Civic Center before visiting local veteran memorials near the courthouse. They'll also tour the 182nd Airlift Wing at the Peoria Airport, and another stop includes the Traveling Vietnam Veterans Memorial in East Peoria's Levy District. The day will wrap with a special welcome home ceremony back at the Civic Center, and organizers say applications are open now for families who would like to honor a veteran through the event. So, again, the event itself takes place June 23rd. So, you have just a little bit of time before that date. I'm not sure what the deadline for those applications are. So if I were you and you are interested in this event, I would get those applications in as soon as possible. And I thought this was interesting. This is a little napping owl. So cool. So, a surprising sight greeted shoppers at a New York antique store was an owl who was live, which was fast asleep on a shelf. So, the screech owl discovered or was discovered napping next to a bird-shaped cookie jar. Must have thought it was its mommy. And so it was blending right in with the merchandise. It's so tiny too. So, a conservation officer safely collected the sleepy bird and released it into the nearby woods. In a funny twist, the Wildlife Agency had recently posted a social media challenge asking followers to identify different bird species. And so, meanwhile, in Florida, firefighters responded to a snake stuck in a cardboard, in a dashboard. What I can't, you know that I struggle with snakes and stuff. Ugh, ugh, that is so scary. But either way, there's a sweet little sleepy owl. We'll have more good news only after this break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. So, a Wisconsin's man, his church effort has become a worldwide major effort, helping people all around the world. So, Richard Zidich first organized a small shoe drive through his church. And so then that first collection brought in more than 350 pairs of shoes. Over 5 years, the effort grew to more than 10,000 donated pairs of shoes. And the shoes are sent to the nonprofit Souls for Souls, which distributes footwear to people in need. Sidich is now working toward another goal of collecting 10,000 more pairs of shoes. The community response has grown so large that the organization now rents a storage unit just to hold the donations. Zidich says the project shows how small acts of kindness can make a global difference. This is really cool to have all those shoes donated. I mean, sometimes you never know who is willing to help unless you ask. And he has asked, and it's outgrown the original church project. So that's amazing. Congratulations to him. And thanks to everybody who has donated to make a difference globally. You never know. And so I wanted to show you this. There's a mom who is collecting products. Speaking of people who are donating and collecting on behalf of others, this mom lives in Maine and she's a nurse and she's working to make sure middle school girls are prepared for their first periods. Kimberly Sullivan is collecting pads and tampons for students at Westbrook Middle School, which is such a great idea. Her effort began after meeting a student who was caught off guard and embarrassed at school. How many girls have stories like this? This is so great. So Sullivan says having supplies readily available can prevent stressful and uncomfortable moments that students, they'll never forget that stuff when it happens to them. She also wants to help normalize conversations about menstrual health, which are so important. Part of her mission is educating boys and men about what girls experience. Sullivan says the project is about confidence, kindness, and supporting young people. And she hopes every girl knows she doesn't have to face those moments alone. I think it's so thoughtful and I think it's so kind. I also think that this is a great way, as she said, to make it more comfortable for boys and men and everyone to have these conversations about this aspect of female health, women's health, removing the shame and the stigma around it. This goes a long way. I love that she's doing this. Thank you to her. That's such a sweet thing to do, such a thoughtful thing to do. And there's another teenager who is doing something. I mean, we have so many stories about people collecting things and giving back to the community in this way, these drives. So there's a teenager who is doing some of that of her own. She's 19 years old and she's turning her diagnosis with epilepsy into a mission to help other teenagers. So Sophie Quintanilla created a program called Teens Experiencing Epilepsy Now, or TEEN. The organization provides care packages for teenagers staying in hospitals. Oops, sorry. Did you get it? Okay, now we got it there. Sophie is. So she's also become an advocate for seizure safety, and they have trainings in schools. So she's the advocate for seizure training in schools, which I think is awesome because a lot of people don't even know what a seizure looks like. They only see it dramatized on TV. They have no idea what it really looks like and what to do in the event they are in the presence of someone having a seizure. And so she collects items like wipes, nail kits, and cozy socks, and they're all meant to bring comfort during these difficult stays in the hospital. So she's spoken at events and even traveled to Tallahassee to support seizure safety legislation as well. So she's really, really, really serious about this. Through blogs and social media, she now shares resources and advocates and advice. So she shares resources and advice with families who have someone diagnosed with epilepsy in their family. So her message to other teens is you're not alone and epilepsy doesn't have to define your future. This here is her mother. You can just tell she's so proud of her daughter. Epilepsy is a very serious diagnosis, and so she could have dealt with that anyway, that she chose to deal with it. But in this case, she has been able to deal with it by putting a positive spin, going outside of herself and putting a positive spin on living with epilepsy. So great job to her. It's always encouraging to see our young people doing something positive. And it's not that they don't always do positive things. I believe our young people are always doing something positive. But oftentimes we hear the focus being on what's not positive or where they could be improving. But this just reminds us that our young people all around us are always doing positive things. So great job to her. And there is an inmate program, a prison program that's allowing inmates to train dogs for adoption. It's a unique prison program, and it helps both the inmates and shelter dogs get a second chance. So the new Leash on Life program pairs inmates with dogs from local shelters, and participants work daily to train and socialize the dogs, which I bet is good for both parties. The goal is to make them more adoptable for families looking for pets. The program is a partnership between Catawba Correctional, Animal Services, and a resource or a rescue group. So that's great. I mean, that's all three organizations into one. So far, every dog trained through the program has been adopted. So it's got great results, and inmates say working with the animals teaches them patience, responsibility, and compassion. And I think that's something we could all use a little bit more of. Leaders say the experience gives participants a sense of purpose and normalcy, which we know are vital to human life, to existence. So great job to them. That's awesome. Oh, I thought our video froze for a second. And so look, there's also this ancient coin. I wanted to show you this. I thought this was a pretty cool story. It's a rare ancient coin, and it was used for bus fare. How this person got a hold of it is amazing to me. So a museum in England has received a rare coin dating back more than 2,000 years. 2,000 years. What were they doing with coins? 2,000 years ago. So a museum, but the rare artifact wasn't discovered during an archaeological dig. It was not. Instead, it was once used to pay for a bus ride in the 1950s. The coin originally came from the ancient city of Cadiz in Spain. So it's, yeah, very ancient. One side shows the face of a Greek god wearing a lion skin headdress. And experts say the coins often used. That these coins were often used in Greek imagery to appeal to traders. So the coin has been kept by a bus worker's family for decades. It will now be preserved at the Leeds Discovery Center. That's really cool. And I always forget that in ancient Rome, the Greeks, they were so inventive and so advanced in what they did. So when I think about 2,000 years ago, it seems like, I mean, it is a long time ago. But I forget that their advancements in technology they were vast. It was great. What they were able to do and how they were able to build and have their societies set up. And then let's see, what else are we talking about? After the break, we're going to talk about queen bees and what they are able to do underwater, which for me, I would think that it would be common sense, like it would be a thing, like everybody would know that this particular fact is a thing. But not so much, because they've had to do research, and there's a whole story about it. And I'm going to tell you about it when we come back from break. More good news only after the break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. So, before we get to that B story, you should know about a new service Uber is offering for women. So, they have a women only option. It's rolling out this new safety feature for riders across the country. The option allows women to request female drivers through the app. It's called Women Preferences. I remember we talked about this a couple months ago. It's back in the summer. We're almost on a summer again, so probably 6 months ago ish. We talked about this. So the feature first launched in several pilot cities. We talked about that at that time as well. And after strong interest since then, Uber is now expanding this option nationwide in cities with Uber Teen accounts. Teens and their guardians can also use this feature, which I think is excellent. The company says that the option aims to give riders more comfort and control when booking trips. I think this is a great option. Would you use this? Send me an email to news25@week.com and let me know how you feel about this. Would you use this for your teens? Would you put your teens in an Uber? I have, but I had to, it was like the parent thing, and you could track it all the way. You could know where your kid was every step of the way. But definitely it was because I was in desperate need of it. And I never did it again. But and she had a buddy at the time who rode with her, which these days you still never can be too careful. But with a woman only option, I think that would be great. I think my daughter had a woman at the time of that ride. She was coming from school or going to practice or something, and I was at work. But yeah, let me know how you feel about this. Send me an email or send it to Facebook. Let me know what you think about the women only option ride. Would you put your children in this, and how you feel about it for yourself? So, queen bees can breathe underwater. Did you know that? Thought you might like to know it. Scientists have discovered that this is a piece of surprising information about queen bumblebees. So, a new study shows that they can survive underwater for up to a week. Now, that's interesting. Researchers say the ability helps them survive winter flooding while underground. So, this is neat to know information. During colder months, bees or queen bees enter a dormant hibernation like state that slows down metabolism, and it helps them endure low oxygen conditions. So scientists say the discovery could help explain how bee populations survive extreme weather. The research was published in the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society Bee. So that is your good news today. That's a wrap for me. Now I want to hear from you. Please go to news25@week.com and let me know what you thought about today's show. In the meantime, be sure to put Hey Shauna in the subject line. That's SHAUNA, so I know it's for me. And follow me on Facebook at 25 News, Good News Only. In the meantime, be sure to check out all of the evening newscasts and meet me back here tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. for more Good News Only. I'm LaShawna Guy for 25 News. Have a wonderful day.